Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3, where today I suspect we're going to see a little bit more resistance than we have the last couple episodes. We've mostly been killing our way through very minor enemies, more for the increase in our numbers than anything else, on our way to the actual battles. But we are properly arriving at the fireworks factory here. We still need 21 more settlements, and the Eastern Front is working hard on that. For the moment,
we are aligned.
Let's make something happen over here. Okay, so you are going to have to be in full sail in order to participate in this battle. And I do think it is important that we make this happen now, because the next one's on the... I was going to say on the horizon already, but they are in fact much closer than on the horizon.
Far beneath an archmage.
So this is a weird army. They have some elite units in here, a couple of characters, 3 units of Eagle Claw bolt throwers. Huh.
In Father's name.
There's actually a lot of pretty basic units in these armies, like these Illyrian Reavers and Tyrannok Chariots. These are the lower tier horse units. Why are they sending me this junk?
The seas are my domain.
Maybe this isn't going to be as difficult as I thought it was.
Make them dead.
I think we are likely to take this very cleanly. In fact. Oh, well, that's embarrassing for Eltharion. Poor Eltharion has been abandoned,
Sea dog.
and Pete Wakefield
Attack.
is going to push him back, and then, what do we do now? We probably just get on land, right?
Unwise.
No.
So Cthynia, we're seeing Cthynia's full speed movement here. So she definitely can't get anywhere near attacking us next turn. But also, we kind of can't, what would be the point of staying in the boats? I guess
Admiral of the fleet.
what we could do is... Where does her movement end? If I put myself over here, I'm putting myself in position to block them from being able to move out easily, but also we're gonna see
Futile.
we're gonna see these high elf armies able to basically they'll be able to bring 4 armies versus our 2, and I don't think they'll coordinate that correctly. I think they'll just try to make it 2v2s. But even so, depending on how poorly those go, that could be messy. Should we try to run this blockade?
Misguided.
Unlikely.
Neither of these armies is full size. Cthynia is suffering attrition from having stopped in the storm. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to get aggressive.
Yes. Full speed ahead.
So we're going to go right here.
Navigating.
Basically pin them in here.
The waves.
And you are getting...
The galleon
Yep,
awaits.
within reinforcement range. Alright. That is maybe us fighting a really large number of pirates in the very near future. Who are you? Where do these beastmen come from? I feel kind of bad, honestly, for the people who live over here. Things have gotten so ugly for them so quickly. So where do we want to make landfall? I mean, we probably just want to hit Shattered Stone Bay, right? Which is a thing we will not be able to do this turn.
Now we're talking.
Yes.
So Henrietta can get this far safely. Where's Wendy?
Undead.
Yes, thank you, Wendy.
Onwards.
I just want to make sure there's not another caravan of the Blue Roses army, right up near here. No, there isn't. Okay, so...
I refuse.
This army's in terrible shape, and we know that Helmengorst's army is, pretty fake. I feel comfortable just riding all the way up to our movement level here. Movement limit.
Navigating.
I don't think everything they have combined is much of a threat to us at this moment. Okay. And... yeah.
The Sea Father tasks me to this.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I can see how they might not be interested in having my troops all up in their territory at this point. We should watch our relationship with the Siege factions, because we may be able to pursue a greater level of friendship. Oh, they're going for it. Interesting. Oh, right, because he's allied, so he can use Altharian's troops as reinforcements. He just ran up and engaged a battle where the auto-resolver says he loses? What's he attacking me with? Okay, this army's better for sure, but it's going to be... yeah, there's reinforcements having to arrive later, and I'm just going to take the auto-resolve victory that we are offered here, because why not? I don't know that this will be terribly interesting to play out. But bizarre, truly bizarre move to take the attack when the attack's not good for him. That army was carrying 10,000 gold.
There is only my...
Let's get a little bit of healing. That'll set them back on their heels for a bit. Carthinia, really? You are not just going to sail home? I just don't... gosh, I just don't know if I think that's very smart on your part. So we still have to get 21 settlements. A big part of the reason that I didn't look into any of the sea route stuff to see if there was a faster way to get from where we were going to where we were going, or where we were coming from to where we were going, was that I did want to get to destroy a bunch of settlements on the way to push that number up. I can't believe we still need so much. Taking out the Caravan of the Black Roses, which we have to do anyway, in order to win our other objective, is going to get us like a third of the way there. Sorry, blue roses. What am I talking about? Silly me. I like that it's not... black roses would be very obvious for such a... I don't want to say that they're gothy, but you know what I mean. Such a gothic army anyway. And I appreciate that they went with something a little bit more unusual. It's still like very evocative of something being weird. There's still an eeriness to a blue rose. Now, my biggest concern on that eastern front is that Imric's elf faction is going to declare war on us as well and make life difficult by forcing us to watch our back the whole time. But to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not sure that the elves have anything that would be a meaningful danger to us after seeing how things are going over here.
Quivering in their boots.
Alright, so they've completely abandoned Shattered Stone Bay, which
It is your decision.
seems sensible to me.
Brine for blood. They shall pay.
This is another one where I think we might claim it.
The Sea Father calls. His doctor answers.
I'm gonna take it.
Claim it for the Sea Father.
I don't think it's terribly valuable as a place to live, and it's certainly not something that we're taking to hold in the long term.
Plotting a course.
But first of all, we are going to need a place to start spreading corruption from, so that we're not always
Swordfish.
taking a bunch of bonus damage. This definitely doesn't stick around. And it'll be nice to just have a chunk of land where we can move full speed, but still be replenishing, potentially. Yeah, I cannot believe Carthinia decided to still come forward after everything that happened there. Alright, so we got our taunt, which is wonderful. You can just, take whatever.
Blood and plunder. Middling.
So we just got Arcane Conduit. What else are we doing with you? I do want magical reserves. And then, like, I probably should at the very least max out the spells that I don't have. The spells that I took, but don't yet have maxed out. If we're going to be casting them, we should be casting them in the most efficient way possible. Oh. Forgot to take training. Probably a thing worth having. You get 3 points. Melee attack, charge bonus. I mean, the charge bonus gets pretty real. That said, yeah, I'm gonna take all the melee attack, I think.
Serve for eternity. Navigating.
Darkness comes. All above board. Strike now.
All right, I mean, Cthulhu is obviously just going to run away. Well, I might still be able to catch her.
I thirst. Setting sail.
No, not quite. It is close, though. It is close.
Get it done.
Well, then we will do kind of the same thing here.
Setting sail.
Just sail around and use my zone of control to bully her as much as possible.
The dead.
Wendy is basically just keeping an eye on the caravan.
Get thee hence.
Get yourself hence, please. And Charles Fenn, the Gunnery White, is level 41 and really has nothing left to do.
You might be right.
All right, that Vampire Fleet Captain is going to max out before we run out of stuff to buy. Which is nice. It's nice to have somebody who's like really on the program. Okay, next turn for the big ritual. We do still have to make sure the other vampires are dead. We can probably get a lot of our remaining necessary settlement destructions just up here in this area, making sure the Barrow Legion goes down. Right, 8 more is going to take us to 13. It'll take us at least 2 to actually knock out their core stuff. Plus, you know, anything else in the area that seems convenient. Helping the rats with the war or whatever. It does look like, despite the fact that their forces spread all the way to Altdorf, it doesn't look like they actually took anything over there. Which is a little strange. And over an infinite timeline, there is like zero doubt that the dwarves would declare war on us eventually. Our goal is to finish the game before it becomes an issue. What if we just never had to worry about it? So it seems like the vampires are definitely terrified of us. They are trying to assassinate my units, and I don't know that there's much I can do about that. Oh, if we can catch up with Richterlos, I can for sure kill those armies. They really, really do not have a lot going for them. It's weird how the AI prefers to build these, like, they would rather build 6 armies of a few good troops supported by a lot of mediocre troops than 3 armies of all just the most elite. But the way this game works, it really wants you to build the most elite units. All right. So Mousselon is well and truly out of the game. Great news. We have been handed a bunch of free money. Also great news.
You are restless. All of aboard.
Kurthina did not try to move at all. Probably couldn't, honestly.
Dead raiders. Prepare boarding hooks.
The seas are my domain.
Yes?
All right. Annie can lead.
Drop anchor. We fight.
Knock these fools out very easily. Okay. And I mean, like, when do I want to sail for the graveyard? I think is the question. What does this building do? You know, it's pretty all right. Being able to recruit artillery units nearly at gold ranks is kind of cool. But it's certainly not game breaking. Like, it's not a thing where you need to go for that as soon as you can,
Admiral of the fleet.
which is a little disappointing. I definitely wanted to max out Invocation of Nahek as well. It is super cheap when it is upgraded for the amount of healing that it does. And then, yeah, we'll start grabbing, like, this stuff, this unique yellow stuff. Rank 20 for our Gunnery White, which is great news. Let's grab a point of Devourer of All on the way to Deadly Onslaught, and then we'll come back. I think we're probably going to end up buying the whole yellow line on that guy, so we don't need to be too careful right now. So what do we do? Do we sail north and fight this stuff? Like, we could make our moves. Okay, they took over a little bit. Yeah, we could start making our moves up here, right? How friendly are we? Military access is going to be really tough. And I certainly don't want to piss them off. But yeah, they're really, really not interested in military access. What if I framed it as a thing I'm doing while I'm helping you defeat one of your enemies? Couronne is not sufficient. It seems like I'm trying not to get into the wars where we know there are a lot of alliances involved. But yeah, it seems like we might just be out of luck on that. Might have to be very cautious how we move. So we're not going to be able to get any friendship out of this faction. We are going to be moving around through their stuff. I wonder if we should just go to war with them too. Take their stuff down as well, because it seems to be fairly easy to do. They're not really very powerful as a faction. Then we can push east. We have... Oh, they have a military alliance with the big Cathayan faction. So that's the thing we'd be putting ourselves in for. But, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe we could do that. Who would maybe be into paying me to join that war? Seems like a few people. What about... So let's see here. Most of the Chaos Dwarf factions seem to be against them. Grimgor was, but Grimgor is kind of irrelevant. Yeah, the War Host of Jar. Let's talk to you. So if I join your war against... I'm actually not allowed to declare directly on... Oh, because you're not... Guess I misread? It's not all of the Chaos Dwarf factions. These ones are definitely properly at war. So I would declare war against the Goldtooth. 1.6, really? All they would give me for that is some money. Not even very much money. Well, fuck it. I'll take it. Here we go.
Plunder!
Arnessa can actually reach them.
Ahoy! Get trembling!
Yeah, let's get way too aggressive here.
See, father! Yes!
I like this level of aggression. Yeah, because like these armies are terrible, right? Look at this. It's like some dogs and some bats, 2 mortis engines. You rarely need 2 mortis engines, and then also the army's all torn up. Like this is a free clear. And we could go basically just back to full immediately. I think I'm going to do that. This is perhaps an abundance of caution. But caution can be a good idea sometimes.
Find treasure! More moving, less
All right,
moaning!
let's make sure that we are good and close together with our friends here. So now that we got Swashbuckler, do we finish off hard to hit? I guess so.
Ours is the sea.
Henrietta leveled up despite barely contributing to that battle. All right, excellent. We're seeing immortality here. What would I rather push forward now? I guess arbitrarily we started that. Let's finish it. It does bum me out that I'm not quite allowed to chase Wagner Richterlos down, especially given the very low quality of his surviving army.
You'll do the
But whatever, it's fine. Alright, surge ahead here, look for incoming reinforcements. But I'm feeling pretty good about our position. I don't know that I think there is going to be all that much to worry about. Alright, what else do we want here? Certainly don't need a growth building. We don't really have a growth building anywhere, except this, which is also producing money. So I certainly wouldn't want to change that. I guess, you know, the most basic recruitment structures make sense. Yeah, there we go. That is how we will spend that windfall. Shattered Stone Bay should get, ideally, a Dead Pirate's Totem. Which we will have to just wait a little bit on, is all.
There'll be double rations on the
Alright,
ship.
so there's
this
lots of
night.
people that we're at war with, kind of scattered all around us. Over there is their legendary lord, with his kind of weird half army. And I'm really curious how the AI is going to play this. All of the ogres just fall back to heal up and reconstruct their armies, while the caravan and I are at each other's throats. Would be a pretty smart way, I think, for them to handle this. Ooh, King Tyrion's here. Fancy guy. I probably should have moved these ships to someplace more useful. After the attack, we basically spent no movement. I just get distracted very easily. Alright, as Ikit takes some territory up here, it'll make it easier for us to move around in the area, for sure. I don't remember what the trait for defeating Tyrion in combat looks like. I feel like it's got to be good, right? Tyrion's a really important storyline, lore character. But I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. So through most of the caravan's lands, they should already be on the kind of corruption that we like. I don't think we're gonna have to deal with this over corrupted nonsense too much. But clearly the ogres, the combination of the ogres and Nurgle has fucked up this coast in a very serious way that the vampires simply have not been able to undo. Okay, Sword of Cain is back in the hands of a, what do you call it? Back in the hands of a Hexawaddle Lizardman, although that's a big frog dude. Right, that guy is a wizard. So, probably not quite as dangerous with it as some people might be. I don't care about this mission even a little bit. Let's break some shit.
This is working out. For Sartosa!
So again, Wagner did not attempt to retreat from us at all, which feels like a huge error.
Yes, the winds blow true.
He's just trying to muster where he stands. Yeah, gee, what a surprise. That didn't work.
Salt and blood. We fight.
Let's take the big replenishment boost. Because I think I just want Aranessa to attack again this turn. Right, we can hit Knobbly Gorge right now.
Bring the storm.
Burn this shit to the ground.
For war and plunder. I want it burned.
Ooh, Seasoned Campaigner. This is an excellent trait. Campaign movement range way up and perfect vigor. Never ever gets tired on your hero. Plus, there's an attrition reduction, but attrition is already such a...
Bring them back.
attrition's very manageable for a faction that can go into their encampment mode on 0 movement. We really don't have to think about it at all. I guess let's finish hard to hit, and then we might want to max out the rest of our spellcasting. Maybe? Alright, now the question with Henrietta is, do we hold on to Scrap Towers? Because it does give us a larger area. It's like the border between this and other stuff is right here.
Send them down.
Because, like, this is a totally free win. And then do I want to have another place to heal up a little further from the coast? I guess so. Y'all can just level up and, yeah, should be fine. Probably wise, although maybe not against this faction necessarily. Not a lot of projectile fire on either the Ogre or Caravan factions.
Not possible.
I'll order it.
All right, well, I think we do want to just get up on land.
Landfolk are weak.
Sails up! The sea knows my fate. Sails up!
Not that I'm running from Pyrian or anything, but I want to try to have position to stop Kintara as well before she does something really annoying.
Treasure is there.
And I know we were healing anyway, but there's just no reason not to go into the stance. And when you're, if you are attacked in the stance, you get some minor, very minor defense buffs, which is, you know, something. I don't think that's likely to work, but, or likely to matter. But also, we should do something,
Fleet
right?
captain reporting.
Do I think we need to protect the main faction more? I guess, you know, Wendy just kind of can't, is the problem.
Get going, scum.
So we'll keep an eye over here. Are you at war with... No, interestingly, not every player was automatically forced into war with the rebel factions. Just me. For some reason. Oh, and I've done it again. I have failed to remember to place the building. Whatever, it's fine. So I think that the troops belonging to all of the factions up here are in such disarray that they're going to have a really hard time suddenly being coherent enough to be a threat to us. We've done some decent damage to the caravans, like sort of the wholeness of their situation. But obviously everybody is still a danger. But I think now that we've kind of severed this little area of the caravan from the rest of their country, we're going to go get that tree, knock that over. That is, I believe, their capital or one of their most developed cities, so they'll lose a bunch of recruitment structures in that. Just try to get their replacement armies into a place where they are dying more and more quickly each time. All right, Helmengorst is just openly retreating. No interest in hanging around. I wonder, do they actually have territory up there at all? We can probably tell a little bit from what we can see on the map, which I will pull up as soon as it is our turn. Because we'll be able to see if their color, even if we can't see the main city of a settlement, we can see whose color the edges of the settlement are and stuff. Okay, supplies adrift. Melee attack and infantry armor up, or yep, okay. Guns that are better at the things that they do. Yeah, I mean,
Sea dog.
we may lose the settlement. So, like, now we have a question, I think, of, like, does Henrietta pursue Helmengorst?
We're shipshape. Make them
I don't know who the hell you think you are, just moving into my attack range like
Get
that.
them.
Clearly, someone who is not paying attention to the way the rest of these battles have gone. Oh. We hardly get any treasure because we didn't really take any captives.
Ready the swordfish. More bodies washed up.
My Necrofex Colossus takes such a huge amount of damage every single turn. It really doesn't make any sense.
Come, crew. Move.
Alright, so. We are certainly close enough to threaten them now. Can Henrietta...
And cheer you can.
Yes, Henrietta can report over here. Is it worth it? Probably. Like, this is only 30-something units,
I'd wither first.
but some of them are pretty elite. Gosh, not that many, though. This garrison's actually very bad. They're not a strong defense kind of faction.
Admiral of the fleet.
Yeah, we'll just
It shall
trust
be
the
done.
judgment of past us. And
We'll intercept.
I don't know, it feels like they're headed right for us.
We'll intercept. The seas are my domain.
Gosh, where is an ambush spot that is 70%? How did I find one so easily with the other character? They didn't even have to move. Okay, well. Turns out all of these trees are bullshit.
Follow, shipmates.
I guess just stand behind them and we'll accept the 50%.
Blood and plunder.
Yeah, you're good. We're gonna let these elves come to shore, which it looks like they may actually be intent on doing. Don't really know that I want you to move. I think you're kind of in the perfect spot. Yeah, somebody's gotta Somebody's got to stay over here and document the nightmares that happen from afar. Oh, I forgot to check in with Tzinch. Because again, we are probably in pretty good shape. We probably could have done this without going to war with... Well, probably. Let's not say probably. Let's say maybe. Maybe I could have done this without going to war with... Weird. With the ogre faction. Because we don't really need to take their settlements. Yeah, I cannot figure out what is going on with these elves. Why would you have Tyrion sail all the way up here just to sail back? I guess they did see through our ambushes, so he's like measuring force strengths and going, nah, this isn't worth it. You can stay and have fun, though, if you want. No big deal. Because, like, Gilgallion remaining over here, I think possibly in range to get murdered, feels a mite strange. Alright, the caravan is showing as weaker than we are. One of the most important things for us to do at this point is just make sure they can't replenish. They're going to try to rebuild, and we must stop it. It is going to take them a hell of a long time to be able to try to start rebuilding. And when I say rebuilding, I'm referring to their force way more than I am referring to their settlements. They have enough cities such that they should have a fair amount of redundancy. I wouldn't expect killing one of these factions to... Tom Bloodletter's been wounded. Okay, people are hanging out in high Skaven corruption territory, and it's not good for their brains.
A done deal. Easy pickings around here.
Strike now, crewmen!
Alright, I'm going to just go up here and encircle this. Apparently I'd almost win it with just these troops. So this definitely feels a little bit like overkill. But now that this guy's out here on his own.
No chance.
Wait, where did he make it to? I don't see his flag at all.
They won't stop me!
Anyway, I'm here now. Let's take the thing.
It's time to tame the cattle.
I don't think there's any reason for us to build in the Haunted Forest. You can see it's a very unfriendly climate for us. And I just don't... And fuck it. And fuck it is why. That's all the excuse I need.
I never linger.
Alright, I can give you support while being just over on the other side of the line. At least I
Oh,
thought
praise the sea,
so.
mother.
Oh, this region is in Noblar country. Whereas this is the Dragon Isles. Our line is over here, further somewhere. Alright, Lottie. Do we want to get Kraken's Pull and Tide Call? I guess it's probably a good idea for utility's sake. And I don't know that we need any of the rest of this stuff very badly.
Blood and plunder.
Alright. Finally a pyromaniac.
There'll be double rations on the ship this night.
We are going to need a little bit of time for Henrietta to just catch up, catch her breath. It's weird how I am one unit short again, but we'll just raise then a unit of new gunners. So Kiara
I have sailed the world.
did a thing that I'm not sure I understand.
The last is upon me. Let's fight. I am your mistress.
It is so weird that in like every one of these battles,
Serve for eternity.
the Necrofex Colossus takes so much damage. What is doing damage to it? How does that even happen?
Certainly not.
Blood kiss of the seas.
Not quite sufficient. Well, let's
Rajon.
form a line over here.
Dropping.
Let's try to communicate some things to this fellow without words. All right, being a supernatural horror is good for you.
Another victory.
At least it's good in this place. And I mean, I
Isn't the gods' victory?
guess.
It's mine.
Nope, never mind. I apparently do not have 25% movement range left.
Waylaying.
Yeah, you could try to hide just to disguise our numbers.
Time to move.
I don't know. Wendy doesn't really have a goal at the moment. His progress in this area is far from linear.
See.
Okay. I figure if anybody attacks it, it's dead anyway, and this is like a high traffic area and also a place I don't want to come back to until we're ready to go, so we'll try to put up some defenses here, but I'm not going to try very hard. Also, I probably should have looked for stuff to do, because that was 32,000 gold. Made a lot of money burning down that magic tree. Alright, if Eataine does not sail that boat away from my shore, we are definitely going to destroy it next turn. Nope, they changed leadership. There's a different general now than it was before, but they are, in fact, still interested in forcing my hand. This is one of those joke armies. They were trained wrong on purpose. On a strategic level. We'll probably just keep Annie out of this one, give her more time to heal up. Now, it is not enough from the objectives. It is not enough to have simply taken the Galleon's graveyard at some point. It's not enough for it to just be a name on the big list. We have to be actively in control of it at the end of the game. So I'm reluctant to go after it until, like, basically until it would be too late for any of the enemies to take it back from us. But maybe we do... I really don't want to sail too far north either, with these two armies still all the way on this side of the world. I worry that sailing Pete and Annie too far north would just make it too easy for the elves to sort of like sail around to the south and get in behind us and do a bunch of damage in the Sartosa area before we can really get a hand on the problem. We probably do not have that that same issue with our forces just going straight to Eataine, right? There's no way for the enemies to get behind us.
True queen of the sea.
All right, let's try to stay focused here.
Overland.
I think it would be very easy to get lost in this new place with all of its new threats.
Land ho!
But in fact, let us stay focused on the caravan. The caravan of the Blue Roses, the only thing that matters.
Your orders. Logical.
All right, show me what else there is over here. Depressingly little. I keep trying to double click on them to see their cities, even though I know this doesn't work. All right, so they have 5 left, and we can see 1, 2, 3, 4. This area along the coast looks like it must belong to somebody else. But this is yellow, so their 5th is probably up there. Okay. We can, in fact, resolve that pretty easily.
About time.
Vampire of the waves.
Oh, is this army just far enough away not to...
Kill things.
Yeah, I think so. We just barely can't get a support. Then again... You know what? This army is actually weak enough that we can probably just take them with Annie. Never mind, Annie runs out of movement.
Outstanding.
Well, she tried. And Rimamute's reinforcements actually do show up this time.
Brave guns. Fight. You will obey.
Killed an awful lot of characters there.
We are aligned.
So at this
Has
point,
the crew's respect.
we're going to start making some decisions about Pete. I guess it's probably a good idea to know Kraken's Paw. So yeah, do we sail for this island to harass the elves and chalk up some stuff? Gosh, there's so much work to do up here.
And salt.
Charles Fenn, I guess, can just grab this.
Admiral of the fleet.
Yeah, we can't charge forward as long as Henrietta's army is stuck right there. Here we go. Here's my beautiful city. It's not even asking me about upgrades here anymore.
Admiral of the fleet.
Part of me wants to go north because it's where the actual problems are, but we just can't. I don't think we can leave Sartosa and everything undefended for as long as it's going to take us to do that. So... maybe I do plan... You know, they're at a moment of local weakness right now. I know Tyrion's got a full-sized army out there somewhere.
Where to? 3 sheets to the wind. Keelhauls.
But we can advance on them a little bit in a sort of a menacing fashion.
Speed ahead. Heave ho.
Yeah, we have to sort of advance along the axis that lies between the elves and the rest of our stuff. The Barrow Legion problem is probably a problem for the other army when they get back from clearing the caravan. And I'm talking like all this stuff is a foregone conclusion. Like, it'll obviously be trivial that we're just going to run up on these people and devour them. But, like, you know. Is it overconfidence or is it just confidence? Is it just an honest assessment of the way I think this is all going to go?
Swordfish is ready to sail.
I've been saying no to this for like 200 turns. Alright, yeah. Send Remamute somewhere useful. Just thinking over the math for the settlement captures and stuff that we have left to go. I think actually taking a chunk out of Eataine might be necessary. Or if not actually necessary, I mean, you know what I mean. If not necessary, then at least a boon to a degree, you know. High value in any case. It does look like the blue caravan is maybe trying to mass up to actually stop us. Maybe. The thing is, given what we've seen of those three armies, I don't know that all together they are any match for us. I'm feeling fairly powerful. The tides seem uneasy and force us off course. Could this be a warning from your dad? Well, we could nuke our movement range for a massive physical resistance buff. Or we could get... Yeah, so this is a bummer. It's like a pretty good bonus for a pretty good penalty. Or a bonus that does not matter at all. So it's like the play it safe option just gets you nothing. This isn't even nothing. This is bad stuff. Like the red problems there are much more serious than the green reward. So I guess I'm going to do this, even though it hurts to lose movement range. Do I want to just do a little bit of Elven Shore raiding? We're at 58. We still have quite a ways to go. Let me start at the other end. Things tend to be a little clearer over here.
Best tread carefully.
Alright, well, it doesn't do much for Helmengorst, but I think we just got to advance on Anqiang.
Follow, shipmates!
I'm not really afraid of them running out to get us with armies made up of, like, zombies and skeletons.
Move!
So yeah, I think we can just go ahead and, like, fully present ourselves as targets.
Odds are against me.
Go. There we go. My unit. Go check this out. Okay, it's a pretty little temple. It is not
This is dry.
harboring anything dangerous. Probably. So there is a deep water penalty.
It is your decision. Navigating.
We're going to do part of the movement here. See how we feel about it.
The seas are my domain.
Well, they have left the gate more or less completely open, it feels
I have
like.
sailed the world.
Although I guess it's not easy to get up onto these islands from this side. You kind of have to...
Plotting a course.
Well, whatever. That's what we'll do then.
No prey, no pay. Navigating.
Except Pete will sail directly across the thick part of it, because why not? We have all of our other rituals up now. We've 28. You know what? Let's go for the control and loyalty thing. Let's try to push our pirate captains up to nice high loyalty levels. And then we have money, but I think it's sort of like... Here we go. Here's a place where it is not maximally spent already. Can I talk to your boss real quick? It's expensive, but I want to... Yeah, I want to solidify the idea of us being an alliance as early as possible. And I knew it was going to be expensive, which is why I wanted to do it before we spent all of our money there. Ooh, the Tower of the Sun has a lot of interesting units. Unfortunately, I don't really know this faction well enough. Like, I recognize some of the units from when we were playing this faction. Yeah, okay. And I don't think that's in a position where it's likely to get disrupted or anything, so that should be a pretty relatively safe investment.
Come on board. I'll guarantee you're safe.
What's up, Kairos? You want me to go to war with Bordelot and you'll pay me... You know what? Yes. Bordelot is, if I'm remembering correctly, a tiny, largely irrelevant faction at the moment, so... They might even be a faction that has, like, come back to life. This is a thing in this game. If a player faction is eliminated, but then the faction that takes over their land doesn't keep their eye on their control value, and allows control to drop to -100. We've talked about how that makes a rebel army spawn before, but we haven't talked about what kind of army spawns. In places with high corruption, it can be corruption-related armies. If the vampire corruption is high, sometimes you'll see armies of like vampires and zombies rising up as rebels,
Skip the chapter.
etc. You know, things that are like, okay, this is Emmerich declaring war on us, which is not great. What was I just talking about? Oh, right. But if the corruption level is not particularly screwed up, sometimes in a deceased faction's area, you will see members of that old faction rising up as the rebel army. And if they are actually able to retake the settlement, then the faction will be reborn. The faction will exist in the game once again. And it's not really that rare, or at least like it's a thing I've seen happen multiple times, so I feel like it can't be that rare. But I guess also I've played I've played a few hours of this game. It's probably fair to say. All right, all of these heroes are constantly, they're just following us around trying to give us shit, and unfortunately, there isn't really anything we can do about it. This kind of stuff is the reason that you want to have a unit trained up whose job it is to just attack the enemy agents following you around and hopefully actually kill them with a fairly high degree of success. Because otherwise, like, there's nothing we can do here. These things get to just keep picking at us forever. And frankly, with the number of them, I don't know that it would even be worth taking them out if we could. Because remember, you get that thing where like your assassin gets exhausted very easily. So once you kill something, you have to like rest for 2 turns before you can try it again. And then unless you're rolling critical successes on an actual assassinate, and you're just wounding them, it takes only 5 turns for one to come back. So a single assassin can only really keep 2 enemy agents down at a time. And we are certainly seeing a density that is greater than that. Anyway, that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Our troops are about to set foot on Ulthuan for the first time. Right? Ulthuan is the name of the great big island where all the elves live? I think so. And also, we are really digging in against the caravan of the Blue Roses. And I have high hopes in both directions, but it's certainly possible for us to overextend. So come back next time to see if, in my hubris, I do exactly the thing that I habitually do. And we'll see you then.